Hi, I'm Cassandra Baldini with Financial Standard. In 2020, approximately 4.2 million people were aged 65 and over. That's around 16% of Australia's total population. It's no secret that our rapidly aging nation will change the face of retirement. And considering 500,000 Australians are due to stop work in the next 5 years, the financial services industry will need to pivot accordingly. Here with me today to discuss what lies ahead and how to prepare is Allianz Retire Plus Chief Product and Marketing Officer, Simon Aboud. Simon, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me today.
Simon, can you explain to me the shifting demographics of the Australian population?
One of the very significant shifts that we're seeing is people living longer. And that's really come about as a consequence of improved nutrition, medical advances, and higher standard of living or better quality standard of living. So we've got people living for a longer period of time. And if you want to think about an example what that might look like, if you took a couple today who are 65 years old, there's a 50% chance that one of them will live well into their 90s. So we're seeing much longer life cycle. And then also in terms of how that translates into a national figure. Today we have about 7.4 million retirees. That's going to grow between now and 2040 to about 10 million. So a lot more people living in retirement, and people also living a longer period in retirement. So that means these people will need to be thinking about how they're going to fund retirement over 25, 30 years, 35 years, or even longer. From a wealth transfer perspective, it's quite large. So what we see today is about $55 billion of funds transferring from accumulation into retirement, and that's going to grow to about $200 billion by about 2040. So really what we've got is a very large and growing opportunity, but with that opportunity comes challenges.
So what are the different financial and emotional challenges facing retirees with longer lifespans?
Retirement is a really exciting time for hopefully everybody and certainly for most people, but it can also be daunting for people. You know, most people will have been living off an employment-based income for their life, and it's a transition point to where you'll become self-funded or a combination of self-funded and reliance on the age pension. And so for a lot of people that brings uncertainty. If we look in terms of some of the more specific financial challenges and risks that arise, the first one we think about is longevity risk. So longevity risk is the risk that people will outlive their retirement savings. And as we've talked about, people are living longer in retirement, and so their savings are going to last for multiple decades. And through those decades, we're going to have unpredictable markets and there'll be unexpected expenses that might arise. So the first risk we think about really is longevity risk. The second thing we think about is market risk and sequencing risk, which is really the event that there's a market drawdown or a fall in market, particularly around the point where someone retires in those early first few years of retirement. If we get a fall in market, it means that they're drawing down their income off a lower capital base, and that can really have a detrimental effect over the long term as they have a lower base to grow from once markets start to recover. Another risk which is very topical at the moment is obviously inflation risk. So the future purchasing power of your money is less than it is today. And again, over an extended period, there's a risk that's sort of accentuated. So the cumulative effect of all of these challenges is what we see is people taking a more conservative view on the income they draw down from their capital. So living a more frugal retirement than they probably could otherwise afford in the interest of sort of protecting their capital. And quite a number of people are aging and passing away with their capital still intact, their superannuation balance still intact. And I think that presents a challenge for us as an industry. You know, how do we as an industry help clients to have a reliable, certain income in retirement so that they can spend with confidence and they can enjoy the lifestyle that they want?
What does this mean for the financial services industry, and what planning strategies do advisors need to consider for their clients pre and post retirement?
There's no doubt that financial planning around retirement is complex. You're dealing with social security, you're dealing with an unforeseen or unknown future. So how long is somebody going to need an income for? And decisions that get made in that early stages of retirement planning can have really big impacts on how someone lives their life and their confidence in their funds lasting over their retirement period. So first and foremost, it's important that advisors and clients are having these discussions early and starting to plan early for retirement. Another big thing that we need to think about is in terms of successful financial planning and planning generally, it starts with a really clear understanding of the objective and the goal that you're seeking to achieve. Now, in the accumulation phase, the goal is quite clear and quite transparent. It's generally to accumulate as much wealth as is possible within someone's risk appetite with the resources that they have. And we've been very fortunate in this country. We've had about 30 years of innovation in the superannuation and the accumulation phase. So there's a large range of investment products and tools that are available for that phase. But once somebody makes that transition into retirement, the goal actually shifts, and the goal becomes, how do you secure that reliable, certain income so someone can fund their lifestyle over the long term? And so with that different goal, we need a different set of products and solutions. We haven't seen as much innovation in that part of the industry over the last 30 years, but the great news is that we are starting to see that innovation coming to market today. So we are starting to see new solutions and new tools that will really help financial advisors and clients plan for and prepare for and fund their retirement.
What are the different products available today, and what does the next generation of retirement products look like in your opinion?
In terms of thinking about the products, again, we sort of need to anchor ourselves around what's the goal that we're seeking to achieve in retirement. So it is around that certainty and reliable income. So with that in mind, we need to look at product features like a guaranteed income stream for life, and also we need to look at things like investment protection options within a product. Now, these retirement products that we're seeing coming to market, this next generation of products, they're certainly not intended to be a whole of portfolio solution. They're intended to provide a foundation within a retirement portfolio. So I guess if you like, a consistent, reliable income from which planners and clients can then on top of that do their traditional asset management and traditional asset allocation, if you like. So if we dig down a little bit into some of the features that we're seeing in the new generation of retirement products, obviously the first thing is guaranteed income for life. And that generally needs the backing of a life company in order to provide that guarantee. So it's not a best endeavours, it's a guaranteed known amount of income that a client can plan based on. Second thing we think about in terms of product features is flexibility. So again, we've talked about the fact that retirement is a long period. There can be unforeseen circumstances, and it's important in retirement that clients have access to their capital or their remaining investment value should their circumstances change. So we're seeing more flexibility in retirement products. As we talked about, we need to have investment protection options within the products. So what we do know is retirees don't want to put the brakes on the potential for their portfolio to grow over time. And so being able to invest in share markets or get share market exposure or other market exposure with either partial or total protection helps manage against that sequencing risk that we were talking about earlier. And we've certainly talked about the fact that people are living longer, but unfortunately not everybody's going to live longer. So we need to think about the death benefits. We need to think about what happens in the event that unfortunately someone passes away earlier in their retirement. And naturally those people will want any of their remaining investment value to be made available for their loved ones. So making sure that you've got access to death benefits in the event that someone does pass away, and there are retirement savings that haven't been returned as an income. So there's some of the features that we think about from a client perspective, but we also need to think about how these products are made available to advisors and to clients. And so what's critical is that these products sit on platform. We know that platform is the preferred way for advisors and advised clients to invest because of the administrative benefits that it provides. So the products need to be integrated onto platform. Beyond that though, they also need to sit inside a superannuation fund and inside an account-based pension. As we talked about, the intention of these products are that they provide a platform or a foundational income stream. So it's important that they get incorporated inside the account-based pension or the super fund. So there's a consolidated view of the client's retirement savings. And finally, it's important that the products can be incorporated in portfolios before retirement, early leading into retirement. We know that nearly 50% of people unfortunately won't be able to retire at a time of their choice due to health reasons. They might become a carer. So it's important that you start planning early and the products accommodate that. We've recently launched a new retirement product, which is the Allianz Guaranteed Income for Life product, and it addresses all of those features we've just talked about. So it provides a guaranteed income for life. It's got the flexibility to access your capital. It includes protected investment options, a death benefit. It can be integrated onto platforms. It sits inside an account-based pension, and it's been designed for early incorporation into a portfolio.
You mentioned the importance of guaranteed income. Can you expand on the role of insurance companies to provide these guarantees?
Yeah, so it's important that when you look at these products, they do provide a genuine guarantee, which is a known amount of income that will be paid for the life of a retiree or a client. Generally, for a product to be guaranteed, it requires the backing of a life company. A life company is a company that's regulated by APRA, so APRA supervise all of our activities. And from a practical perspective, we hold the funds that are required to meet our obligations in a statutory fund, and that statutory fund needs to be sufficiently funded so that it can absorb market shocks and market movements as well. So Allianz Retire Plus, we're a member or a part of the Global Allianz Group, which is one of the leading insurance companies in the world. Today we manage as a group about $1 trillion worth of long-term retirement savings assets. And it's this global strength and experience in the retirement space that through Allianz Retire Plus, we bring to the Australian market.
And how can companies or advisors position themselves to reap the benefits of innovation?
As we've talked about, we've seen a lot of innovation in the accumulation phase, and the exciting thing right now is we're starting to see that culture of innovation being equally applied into the retirement income phase. So we're seeing new products come to market that really solve fundamental challenges and that retirees face, like this need for certain reliable income in retirement. And we believe that these products really provide a golden opportunity for advisors to have meaningful conversations with their clients, provide their clients with products that are able to meet their needs, and through that continue to build strong relationships with their clients.
Thank you, Simon. Some really important takeaways to consider.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed the discussion today.
And thank you. See you next time.